Alright, today we're going to be solving accounts merge, and basically this is a question where you are given an array with nested arrays containing starting with a first name followed by a bunch of emails. The thing is, some of those emails are going to overlap, and if that happens, you should expect that all the emails there to belong to the same person that the account overlaps with. So you're supposed to merge those two arrays into one. So for example, here there's John that has John Smith at mail.com and John that has John Smith at mail.com with other emails, of course. So you're supposed to merge this two together, and then this John, because it doesn't overlap with them, you don't merge that one with it. Yeah, let's just get started with the code. The idea with the way to solve this is just to think of the actual emails as graph nodes, and you just have to represent that first, and then I guess let's just do that one at a time. So we want to start with the graph, which is going to be a default dict that defaults to a bunch of sets, and we also want to keep a mapping of email to name. I can't type, which is just supposed to be a normal map. And yeah, so we just loop through each of the account for account in accounts. So we're just gonna loop through each account, and basically we get the name. So the name is always the first element in the account, which is gonna be 0, and then we can loop through it for email in account, and basically we're gonna start from the next element in the array. Oh, what did I do? Anyways, yeah, so for email in account, so we want to basically set the first the way we're trying to do this graph is kind of an adjacency list, but the first element is going to have all the emails, and all the other elements are just going to link back to the first email, and basically that's how they're connected. That is the way I decided to go about it. So let's see. Email. So we're gonna set the graph email, because it's gonna be a set dot add account 1. So this is us adding account 1 to every one of them, and then graph account 1, we're gonna add email to it basically, and this will basically mean we're adding every email to account 1, and then each account is at least gonna have account 1 related to it. And the other thing we need to do is just save the mapping to name, which is email to name, and that should be email. Wait, actually that should be name. Oh no, wait, I'm an idiot. It should be email equals name, and that looks fine for creating the graph, I think. Next we just want to do like a visited, which is just gonna be a set. So this is gonna just keep track of all the nodes visited, and the result is just an empty array. And we just want to loop through the graph for node in graph. So if node not in visited, so if it's in visited, we just want to skip it. This is so that, because account 1 is going to lead to account 1, we don't want that to be like an infinite loop, so we just skip it if that's the case. So if node not visited, to be fair, and other reasons as well, like if you go to the same node that you've already processed, you don't want to process that again. Then we want to do the following. What we want to do is, I guess we could do each node is going to be an email. So I guess we want to set a stack, which is equal to node, and then while, and then kind of just do visited, add that node to visit because we have visited it, add node, and then what we want to do is just go while stack, so while this something is stack, basically we basically want to expand all the neighbors of the node in the graph. So we just want to do for neighbor in graph. Yeah, you just want to pass in the node if may not visited, because if it has been visited, we don't want to process that again. Basically what we want to do right now is, oh yeah, we're supposed to have like a local result, which is equal to node as well. And basically what we want to do at this point is, if neighbor not visited, we want to add, I guess we could just start by adding the name and visited. We also want to add that to the stack. Yep, so email call stack dot add neighbor, and that basically means we keep processing this, and we also want to add this to the local result. Local result dot add neighbor, and append actually, because that's a list. And we're supposed to append here as well. And visited is set, so we just want to add. To that one. Trying to think if I'm missing anything. I don't think so. I think at the end of a while loop, the local results should be fully populated, and we should add that to the result. So we're going to do result dot append, and basically what we want to append is, so we pretty much have the node, so we're going to get that mapping to get the name. So email to name, and then that takes in the node, so that will be the first element in the list, and then we're going to do a little plus, yeah, it's going to be a little plus local res, I think, actually that's something, the question that we missed. It does want the things to be in sorted order. Lucky for us, we're using Python, so we could just do sorted, and we could just pass in all the results, all the local res, and I think that should do the trick. Basically at the very end we want to return res. Very likely I have missed something, so let's just run it and find out what's gonna give me a red. Default, yep, can't spell, that's a classic. Oh. My bad. I think I messed up here, so. But I think if we're lucky, can only concatenate. I guess we could just do this and remove this and run this, and that works. So let me just open it so you can see the whole solution, and we're gonna submit it. So basically turns out I was creating the email from stack in the pop in the stack, and I was just passing in the node here instead of passing in the email. Yeah, all I had to do was pass in the email and I'll be fine. Yeah, so that's